one showed up. Let's go open it up. You know, one of the biggest issues I've ran into as a general aviation pilot, flying around, meeting people, going into town, is last mile travel. Now, everybody here on the channel can probably agree that airplanes are awesome. We all think airplanes rock, whether it be a seaplane, a Cessna, a Mooney, a Piper, whatever. Something with wings that flies is pretty awesome. But planes only take you from runways to runways. And sure, they could take you from runways to dirt strips or dirt strips to dirt there. Try not to land in people's backyards. We've seen what happens when you try to do that. But they don't really take you into town. They take you close, but they don't really get you all the way. Last mile travel is the travel from where you landed to where you actually want to end up. And that is where this comes in. This is the Meepo Mini 5. And Meepo was gracious enough to not only send me one, but to send me two so that me and my wife can fly around and show this thing off to y'all to show you that last mile travel doesn't have to suck. So let's open it up and see what you get with the Meepo Mini 5. So right off the bat, there's the board. It's awesome. Not a longboard. They do have longboard options, but this is the Mini 5. It's less than 500 bucks right now. And I've actually been riding around on the other one that they sent me for a while, and it's awesome. It's lasted me about a week on a single charge. The extended range should give you about 20 miles on a single charge. So pull this thing out. We'll look at that in a little bit, but we've got our accessories right here. Right in the box, you've got your charger. This is a 145 watt charger, I believe. It does take 120 volts. You're not charging this off of like an airplane or a battery bank. It's not USB-C, it's a barrel connector. So just keep that in mind. But if you get the extended range, you shouldn't ever be in a situation where your battery goes dead. But just keep it in mind, it is not a simple charge. Next, you've got extra truck bushings, right? What these do is they control how stiff the board is to turn. These 92s that are in here are gonna make it more responsive but less stable. I like the 100s that come pre-installed on it because, well, I like more stability out of my longboards. If I had a longer wheelbase, I might go to these 92s. If I do get the longboard one, I'll probably put the 92s in it. You've got some documentation, some instructions. You've got a warning label saying like, hey, be careful, wear a helmet, you know, don't break your wrists. Right in the box, you also get a tool, which is awesome. So you're not trying to carry around like an adjustable wrench. It even comes with a little screwdriver and an Allen key. You shouldn't need any other tools for this board other than the one that comes with it. And finally, last thing in the box is the controller. You got a little power button right there, shows the board, shows the battery life right up at the top, the speed, what mode you're in, and the battery life of the board itself, right? If you push it up, that's how you're gonna go. If you push it down, it's gotta brake. There is no reverse. You do have 4 modes. One is gonna limit you to 5 miles per hour. Right there. 2 is gonna limit you to 11 miles per hour. 3 is gonna let you go all the way up to 28 miles an hour. And finally, 4 it should take you up to 33, but as you can see, the battery on this one is a little low. But let's take a look at the board itself now. Here is the Meepo Mini 5. Charge port right here in the front. Pretty straightforward, barrel jack connector. Again, not gonna be charging that from like a battery bank. It all comes off too. This is all serviceable. If you crunch this battery bank or you destroy something or you run it over some water or you get it submerged and things have to be repaired, it's repairable. Same thing with the deck. The deck comes off. None of this is integral. None of it's built into the board. all of it is serviceable. The fronts are just regular old, I think you can put ABEC bearings in them. I think that might be what's in it right now. The front wheels have a giant contact patch. They're not small, they're kind of squishy. They've got some decent grip to them. You're not gonna be sliding around on this, so don't try and go out and do any slides unless you replace the wheels. You can replace the front wheels with some light up wheels. There are some accessories you can get to give it like headlights and tail lights and what have you. But this is what you get in the box. The motors are hub motors, as you can see right there. There is no belt drive, but just be careful. You can see how quick that thing was willing to come to a stop. But let's stop talking about it and let's go actually use it. Now, one of my favorite things about this versus some of the other options like folding bikes is the fact that it just fits. You can just throw it in the back of your airplane and not worry about it. Now that we got it all loaded up, let's go take off. We are going to head up to Wilson's up in Ephraim. It's a quick little flight just up the peninsula, just so that I can show you, well, how well this dang thing works. The airport is a couple miles from the town. It's a pretty far walk, and sometimes the bicycles just aren't available. Somebody's using them, and that's really the big point of this board and general aviation pilots is you know you're always going to have a way into town. Now, as we start to wrap this up, the big question is, should you get a Meepo board? Of course you should get one. These things are awesome. Given the current sale that's going on right now, if you get the non-extended range version, it's going to be just shy of $400. And if you get the extended range version, you're right around $500. And given that Lyft and Ubers are around $20 to $30, it's going to pay for itself in about 10 to 15 Uber rides, depending on which model you get and how much you tip your Uber driver. Now, obviously, they sent me these products to review them. But with that in mind, I reached out to Meepo because I wanted one of these products. I wanted to work with this company. I wanted to show these things off to y'all. And if they didn't want to work with me, I was already willing and ready to buy one. But they were generous enough to send me 2 of these so that me and my wife can show you how awesome these are, and they are going to be a staple in pretty much all of my flying videos from now on. But with that being said, thank you for watching, and as always, keep it cheesy.